Dear students, how are you all? Hope that all of you are fine. From today, we shall start our biology classes of 10th standard. So, we shall move on to our first chapter, chapter 1, Sensations and Responses.
Now observe this picture which was given in your textbook. Here you can see children and some other organisms have a variety of experiences. Then what are they? Yes, you can see a child tasting a mango, then a snail withdrawing its body into the shell when it is touched. The child feels cold while washing her face. Also you can see birds are flying while making sound. Here, the children and other organisms are responding to various factors. A child tasting a mango is responding to taste and smell. The snail is responding to the factor touch. A girl feels cold while washing her face is responding to the factor cold. Birds are flying while making sound. So here, the birds are responding to the factor sound.
So children, we understood that all organisms on earth respond to various factors such as taste, smell, touch, light and sound with the help of their sense organs. So what are called sense organs? We have already studied in lower classes about 5 sense organs. Which are they? Yes, they are eyes, nose, ears, tongue and our skin. These are the 5 sense organs. With the help of these sense organs, we sense out all the factors like taste, smell, touch, light and sound. So we can call all these factors together as stimuli. So what is the definition of stimuli? Stimuli are the senses that evoke response in organisms are called stimuli, and we can call all these factors as stimuli. Stimuli are of two types: external stimuli and internal stimuli. Some examples for external stimuli include sound, heat, cold, touch, etc. And examples for internal stimuli include hunger, thirst, infections, pressure variation, etc. So the external stimuli are experienced from our external environment or our external surroundings, but internal stimuli are experienced from inside our body. So for example, and also just remember, we have already studied that stimuli means these are the factors which evoke responses in organisms. So how these factors evoke responses or how we respond to all these factors, let us find out. For example, now it is rainy season and our surroundings are cooler while comparing with summer season. And just imagine if this cooling may extend from the normal condition, what happened or how we respond to that cool atmosphere, will shiver. Is that right? This is how we respond to the factor cold. And how we respond to extreme sound. If we are experiencing an extreme sound, how we'll respond? We'll close our ears. This is how we respond to the factor sound. And how we respond to the internal factors. Hunger, we'll feel hunger or we'll feel hunger from inside our body, and we'll feel thirst. And infections, if we have infections inside our body, we'll feel it, we'll feel some irritations from inside our body, and this is how we respond to the internal factors. So we understood that we are responding to both external and also internal factors. Now we shall learn about neuron. Neuron or nerve cell. Neuron is the structural unit of nervous system. We have already studied about nervous system. So the basic unit or the structural unit of nervous system is known as neuron. It is in this shape. This is a single cell, and numerous cells like this combines together to form the nervous system. So now we shall learn the different parts of neuron. So normally, just like all cell, neuron also have a cell membrane, a cytoplasm and a nucleus. So the different parts of neuron include dendrite. The small branches are termed as dendrite, and these branches are termed as dendron and this elongated region is termed as axon, and the branches of this elongated region is termed as axonite, and the end region is termed as synaptic node, and this special cells over the axon is termed as Schwann cell. Now we shall learn the function of all these different parts of neuron. So dendrite, we know that dendrite are the small branches of dendron. Dendrite are the small branches of dendron. This dendrite receives impulses from the adjacent neuron. So we know that this is the structure of a single cell. Just like this, numerous number of cells are there, and all these numerous neurons combines together to form nervous system. So this dendrite receives impulses from the adjacent neuron and it transmits the impulse to dendron. Then what is the function of dendron? We know that dendron is a short filament of the cell body. This is the cell body. So dendron is the short filament of the cell body, and the dendron carries impulses from dendrite. Dendron carries impulses from dendrite to the cell body, and then the cell body receives the impulses and it is transmitted through the axon. So we know that the next part is axon. Axon is the elongated filament of the cell body. This is the axon. This is the elongated filament of cell body. What is the function of axon? Axon carries impulses from cell body to the axonite. This is the axonite. So then axon carries impulses from the cell body to axonite. Now the next part is axonite. Axonite are the branches of axon. What is the function of axonite? Axonite carries impulses from axon to synaptic node. And then synaptic node is the end portion of the axonite. Synaptic node is the end portion of axonite, and the synaptic node secrete neurotransmitter. And then the last part is Schwann cell. Schwann cell are the special cells that encircles the axon. This is the axon. So the Schwann cells encircles the axon.